AITA for snooping through my boyfriend's old iPad when he told me I could use it for my finals? I'm a 22-year-old female, and I've been with my boyfriend, Liam, who is 24, for a little over 3 years. We live together in a small apartment near campus, and honestly, I thought we were the couple everyone envied. We barely fight, we share the same sense of humor, and he's been my absolute rock through my senior year of nursing school. My best friend, Chloe, who is also 22, always jokes that if we ever break up, she's losing her faith in love entirely. Chloe has been my best friend since we were 7, she's more like a sister to me than my actual sister. She's over at our place constantly, and the three of us were like an inseparable trio. Or at least, I thought we were. Last week, my laptop finally gave up the ghost. The motherboard fried right in the middle of me finishing a massive clinical report. I was freaking out, sobbing, the whole 9 yards. Liam was so sweet about it. He hugged me, told me it would be okay, and said, "Hey, I have my old iPad Pro in the closet. I don't use it anymore since I got the new MacBook for work. It's got a keyboard attachment, just use that until we can get your laptop fixed." I felt so lucky to have him. He even set it up on the desk for me and told me the passcode was still my birthday. I'd been using it for about 3 days with no issues. But last night, I was trying to upload a PDF to our school portal and the file picker opened up the Files app. I was looking for the Downloads folder when I noticed a folder named Tax Documents 2022 to 2023. It seemed weird because Liam usually keeps everything on his Google Drive, and he's definitely not the type to organize local files on an old iPad. I don't know why I clicked it. Maybe it was a gut feeling, maybe I'm just nosy, but I clicked. Inside that folder was a subfolder labeled Memories. And inside that? Hundreds of photos and videos of Liam and Chloe. At first I thought, oh, maybe it's just stuff from when we all go out together. But as I started scrolling, the air left my lungs. These weren't group photos. There were photos of them in bed together. Videos of them at a beach I'd never been to. Screen recordings of FaceTime calls where they were doing things I can't bring myself to describe. The most recent photo was timestamped from 3 weeks ago, on a night when Liam told me he had to stay late for a client emergency and Chloe told me she was having a mental health night and turning her phone off. I felt like I was going to throw up. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped the iPad. I checked the metadata on a video of them in a hotel room. It was from our 2-year anniversary weekend. He had told me he had a stomach bug and couldn't make the dinner I'd reserved, so I spent the night taking care of him, bringing him ginger ale and crackers while he slept in the guest room. The video showed him very much not sick, in a hotel 30 minutes away, with my best friend. I didn't wait. I went into the living room where he was playing PlayStation and threw the iPad onto the coffee table. I screamed, "Who is she to you?" He looked confused for a second, then he saw the screen. His face went completely white. He didn't even try to deny it at first, he just sat there staring. Then he said, "Maya, you shouldn't have been looking in that folder. That's private." Private? I lost it. I started screaming about the dates, the hotel, the beach. I asked him how long. He had the audacity to get angry at me for snooping. He told me I'd violated his trust by going through his files, that whatever happened between him and Chloe was complicated, and that I wouldn't understand the bond they have. The bond they have. She's my best friend. He's my boyfriend of 3 years. I told him to get out. He tried to argue. His name is on the lease, it's both of ours actually, but I told him if he didn't leave right now, I'd call her parents and tell them exactly what their perfect daughter had been doing. That scared him enough. He grabbed his bag and left. And then the gaslighting started. He's been texting me saying I'm overreacting, that it was just physical, that he still loves me. Chloe has blocked me on everything, but her sister sent me a long text saying I'm cruel for threatening to ruin Chloe's reputation over a mistake. A mistake. They've been doing this for at least 2 years based on the photos. I feel like my entire life is a lie. My parents love Liam, they think he's the one. I haven't told them yet because I'm so embarrassed. I feel like an idiot for not seeing it. Am I the asshole for snooping? He gave me the iPad and the passcode. He told me to use it. But everyone in his circle is acting like I'm the villain for searching for problems and invading his privacy. I'm sitting in our apartment alone and every time I look at the couch I wonder if they were on it while I was at work. I'm losing my mind. Update 1. It's been 2 days since I kicked Liam out, and things have gone from bad to absolute hell. I haven't slept more than 3 hours. Every time I close my eyes I see those videos playing on a loop. I finally reached out to Chloe. I used a burner app to text her because she blocked my number. I told her I wasn't going to her parents yet, but I wanted the truth. I wanted to know how long. I thought maybe if she was honest I could find some kind of closure. God, I was so naive. She actually replied. She sent me a novel. She didn't apologize, not really. She said, "Maya, I never meant to hurt you, but you have to understand that Liam and I have a connection that goes beyond friendship. We tried to stop, but we're soulmates. You were always just there. We didn't want to break your heart because we both care about you, so we kept it quiet to protect you. To protect me. They were sleeping behind my back for 2 years to protect me. I threw my phone across the room. I went back into the iPad. If I was already a snooper, I might as well see how deep the rabbit hole went. I got into his old iMessage account that was still linked. They had a group chat, just the two of them. The name of it was The Realists. I scrolled back. It didn't start 2 years ago. It started 3 months after Liam and I started dating. There were messages of them laughing at me, laughing at how clueless I was. One time, Chloe came over to help me pick out an outfit for Liam's birthday dinner. I remember feeling so lucky to have a friend who cared so much. I found a text from that same afternoon where she sent him a photo of me in one of the dresses and said, "She's wearing the blue one. It's ugly on her, but don't worry, I'll be wearing the red lace under my coat when I meet you later." I checked the bank statements on our joint household account. I never looked closely before because I trusted him to handle the utilities while I handled the groceries and rent. There are dozens of miscellaneous withdrawals of $100 or $200. Hotel money. I was literally subsidizing their affair with my student loan money and my waitress tips. I had a breakdown. I ripped up every photo of us. Threw the anniversary jewelry he gave me in the trash. Then Liam showed up at the door with his brother, Caleb. Caleb looked miserable to be there. Liam wanted to talk. He tried to come inside and I blocked the door. I told him if he stepped 1 foot in I was calling the police for trespassing. Liam started crying. Real, heaving sobs. He said, "Maya, please. Chloe is pregnant. We need to figure out a plan." I think I actually blacked out for a second. I remember the world tilting. My best friend is pregnant with my boyfriend's baby. I didn't say a word. I slammed the door in his face and locked every lock. I've been sitting against it for 3 hours. My phone is going insane. Chloe's sister, Liam's mom, mutual friends. Apparently Liam told everyone I knew about them and was okay with it until I suddenly snapped, and now I'm endangering a pregnant woman by being unstable. I haven't told anyone the truth yet. I'm just sitting here with this iPad that contains the destruction of my entire life. I feel like I'm drowning. Update 2. The pregnancy was a lie. I found out yesterday morning. I was at my breaking point, ready to pack a bag and disappear, when I got a DM from a girl I hadn't talked to since high school. She's friends with Chloe's younger sister. She told me she'd overheard Chloe telling her sister that she had to say something to keep Liam from going back to Maya and that she might have exaggerated a late period to make sure he stayed. This weird, cold clarity washed over me. The sadness just turned into something else entirely. I spent the entire day screen recording everything on that iPad. Every photo, every text where they laughed at me, every hotel receipt paid for with our joint money. I made a Google Drive folder and titled it The Realists. Then I did something petty. I'm not proud of it, but I don't care. Liam's family is very religious, his dad is a deacon at their church, and they've always treated me like a daughter. His mom had texted me earlier that day, "Maya, we are so disappointed in your behavior. Adultery is a sin, but so is wrath. You need to forgive Liam and support him and Chloe during this blessing." A blessing. My God. I sent the Google Drive link to his mom, his dad, Chloe's parents, and our entire mutual friend group in a mass BCC email. Subject line, "The blessing and the truth." I put the screenshot of the fake pregnancy DM at the very top. Then I turned my phone off and checked into a hotel. I couldn't stay in that apartment anymore. It smelled like him. It smelled like 3 wasted years. I woke up to over 400 notifications. The fallout was nuclear. Liam's dad kicked him out. He'd been staying at his parents' place since I threw him out. His mom called me crying, apologizing, saying she had no idea and that Liam had told them we had an open relationship and that I was the one who'd suggested he explore things with Chloe. He told his own parents I wanted this. Chloe's parents were livid at her. Apparently she'd been borrowing money from them for rent while she was struggling, but had been using it for trips with Liam. When they found out there was no pregnancy, they cut her off. Then Liam left me a voicemail from a new number. The crying was gone. He sounded angry in a way I hadn't heard before. He said, "You think you're so smart, Maya? You just ruined everything. Chloe is staying at a motel now because of you. You're a vindictive bitch and I'm coming to the apartment to get my stuff tomorrow. If you aren't there, I'm breaking the door down." I went to my parents' house. I finally told them everything. My dad is a lawyer and he started going through the bank statements immediately. He thinks we have grounds to sue for the money Liam used without my consent, or at the very least use it as leverage to get him off the lease. Then a friend of Liam's I barely know texted me, "You should be careful. Liam is spiraling. He's saying some really dark stuff about how you stole his life. He's convinced you planned this to destroy him. He cheated for 3 years. He lied about a pregnancy. But I destroyed him. I'm scared to go back to the apartment. My brother is coming with me tomorrow, but I have this horrible feeling in my stomach. Like the person I thought I knew was a mask, and whoever is underneath it is a lot scarier. Update 3. I went back to the apartment with my brother Jackson and 2 of his friends. I wanted to be in and out in an hour. No confrontation. Just my clothes, my books, my sanity. The door was already open when we got there. He didn't just get his stuff. He destroyed mine. My nursing textbooks were ripped apart. My clothes were soaked in bleach. He'd taken a knife to the mattress on my side of the bed. But the thing that made me scream was my grandmother's quilt, the only thing I had left of her. He'd used it to soak up whatever he'd spilled on the floor. It was ruined. Jackson wanted to go find him. I stopped him and called the police instead. While the officers were there taking the report, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Chloe. She was whispering, and she sounded terrified. She said, "Maya, please don't hang up. Liam is losing it. He's blaming me now. He said if I hadn't pushed him to keep the iPad, none of this would have happened. He's drinking and saying he has nothing left to lose." I asked where she was. She wouldn't say. She just said, "He's gone to find you. He thinks you're at your parents' place." I called my mom immediately and told her to lock the doors and call the police. Then I looked out the window. Liam's car was pulling into the parking lot. He didn't know Jackson and his friends were inside. He came up the stairs. I could hear his footsteps, the same heavy run he used to do when he was excited to see me. It made my skin crawl. He burst through the door and stopped when he saw my brother, his friends, and 2 police officers still finishing their notes. He looked destroyed. Bloodshot eyes, wrecked hair, reeking of alcohol. He looked at me, ignored the cops entirely, and said, "I just wanted to talk, Maya. Why do you have to make everything a production?" The officers moved in immediately. He started screaming that I was setting him up, that I was abusing him by keeping him from his home. It took all 3 of them to get him into the back of the cruiser. They found a crowbar in his backseat. And a notebook. Jackson saw the notebook before the police bagged it. He told me what was inside. It wasn't a diary. It was a list, everything I supposedly owed Liam for ruining his reputation. The apartment. The money his parents cut him off from. Even the lost time he spent with me when he could have been with Chloe. But there was something else. A series of dates. My graduation date, circled in red. My birthday, circled in red. And a map of my parents' neighborhood with a route highlighted from the highway to their back gate. I'm at a safe house tonight. My brother is with my parents. I'm not safe. I know I'm not. Update 4. The police arrived at my parents' house in 6 minutes. They swept the perimeter but he was already gone. The photo had been sent from a burner email, he must have taken it and bolted immediately. The officer told me Liam had been released on bond less than 2 hours after he was processed. His parents posted his bail. They didn't call to warn me. They just let him back out. I spent the night in the hallway of my parents' house with a kitchen knife in my lap while my dad sat by the front door. I didn't sleep. Every time the wind moved a branch against the house, I thought he was coming through the window. At 4 a.m., there was frantic knocking at the back door. My dad went over shouting for whoever it was to identify themselves. It was Chloe. She was a wreck, face swollen, missing a shoe. My dad let her in because he's a softie and she looked like she'd been through hell. She collapsed on the kitchen floor and told me that after Liam got out on bail, he went straight to the motel where she'd been staying. He blamed her for leaking the fake pregnancy. He told her that if she hadn't been sloppy with the iPad and the texts, he'd still have his house and his reputation. He hit her. My best friend, the girl who betrayed me for 2 years, was sobbing at my feet because the man we both thought we knew turned out to be violent. She tried to hug my knees and tell me she was sorry, that she never knew he was like this. I didn't hug her back. I looked at her and said, "You knew he was a liar because he was lying to me with you every single night for 3 years. Did you really think you were the exception?" I called the police again to report the assault. Then I sat in a chair and waited for morning. Update 5. It's been 3 months since that night. I'm living in a new city now, finishing my last clinical rotation. I had to get a protective order, which was a nightmare of paperwork and court dates, but seeing Liam in a suit, looking like a small, pathetic man in front of a judge, did something for my soul. He didn't get jail time for the apartment vandalism. First-time offender. But he's on strict probation with a permanent restraining order on his record, and his career in finance is over. Apparently firms don't love it when their employees have police reports involving crowbars and bleach. Chloe moved 2 states away to live with an aunt. She sends long, rambling emails about healing and forgiveness every few weeks. I don't read them. I just hit delete. I don't care if she's sorry. You don't get to spend 2 years mocking someone's life and then ask for a seat at their table when yours falls apart. My dad got every cent of my money back from the joint account. He threatened civil court for fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Liam's parents, terrified of their church finding out the full contents of that notebook, cut a check within 48 hours. I used that money to buy a new laptop, a new mattress, and a plane ticket to see my sister. I'm sitting in a coffee shop right now, and for the first time in years, I don't feel like I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. I realized something while going through the last files on that iPad before I smashed it with a hammer. Best feeling I've ever had, by the way. Liam didn't love Chloe. He didn't love me either. He loved the game. He loved having a loyal girlfriend at home and a secret life on the side. He was just a vacuum, sucking up everyone's energy until there was nothing left. I still have a scar on my thumb from packing up the broken glass in the apartment, and sometimes I catch myself checking the door locks 3 or 4 times before bed. I'm not fixed. I'm not sure I'll ever fully trust a best friend or a perfect guy again. But I'm graduating in 3 weeks. I'm going to be a nurse. I'm going to help people. And Liam is a memory in a folder I finally had the courage to delete. I'm moving on. Alone, but finally safe. Hi there, if you made it so far. Consider dropping a like and maybe subscribing. Thanks. And have a nice one.